Welcome to Dynasty. This is the Commissioner Flex bringing you the Week 8 edition of the Fantasy Flex. Hope everybody had a good, safe Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody's back to getting the baseball. And here we go. Get up into this. The American Division is right now being headed by the Rays with a 6-2 record. Behind them is the Yankees with a 5-2-1 record, who's half game back. The Dodgers with a 4-3-1 record, or 1.5 back, followed by the Tigers, who are 3-4-1, 2.5 back, and then you got the Brewers, who are 2-6, 4 back in the division. Now, as we switch it over to the national side, that goes like this. We finally have a clear-cut winner in the national division, or clear-cut first place holder, I guess we should say. 5-1-2, that's going to the Cardinals, but right behind them with a half a game back is the Phillies with a 5-2-1 record. So you flip the tie and the loss. That's, I guess, what's making the difference right now according to ESPN. Makes sense. 4-4 right behind them at 2 games back is the New York Mets. Big ups to his big victory last week. Then behind him you got the Braves, who are 2-5-1. He's 3.5 back, so he's still got a way to crawl up there. And then you got the Giants, who are still seeking their first win on the year with the 0-7-1 record, 5.5 games back in the division. So let's get up into the matchups for last week. The matchups last week went a little something like this. First matchup of the week was the Subway Series. We had the Subway Series the week before. The week after, we had it in fantasy. Real life, they won. Fantasy, it looks like they won as well, folks. That matchup between the Mets and the Yankees went 12-2 in favor of the Mets. We'll get to that matchup later on when we get down to the trophies. And second matchup of the week put the Tigers going up against the Cardinals. 7-7 split in that matchup, folks. Very close matchup. Owners are getting active, keeping it popping. Then you got the Dodgers in the third matchup taking on the Phillies. Big victory for the Dodgers. Score on that matchup was 10-3-1. And then in the fourth matchup of the week, you had the Rays going up against the lonely win, no-win, Giants. Scoring that one 11-3. Strong victory for the Rays. Like I said, Giants still looking for their first win, and we'll get to them a little bit later. The Brewers in the fifth and final matchup of last week's final Fantasy Flex wrap-up is the Brewers going up against the Braves. Closest match of the week, tightest match of the week. That went in an 8-6 final, and the tilt on that one went to the Braves. So shout out to the Braves. They've been turning it around. The Braves been actually playing good in real life and in fantasy. My man CC Man is doing his thing. Now we get up into the Week 9 previews as we do every week. First matchup pits the 3-4-1 Tigers going up against the 5-2-1 Yankees. Currently the score on that one, check your scoreboard tabs, is 6-3-5. New York got that one so far, but this is only one day into the week, so that can change. I'm just advertising and promoting the scoreboard tab, trying to keep everybody active. Second matchup of the week so far, you got the 5-1-2 Cardinals taking on the 4-3-1 Dodgers. 5-2-7 in favor of LA right now. Like I said, in 6 more days that can switch up and flip up, and there's a different final come next week. The 2-5-1 Braves are taking the 5-2-1 Phillies. Phillies in real life have been slipping, I know, because I have the Phillies in a different league. Let's see if they can turn around this week. 5-4-5 in favor of ATL right now. So, like I said, a lot of ties right now in these matches because you still got to get your minimum pitching requirements and all that. And all this will change as we go further on to the week. Tune into your scoreboard tab, folks. And then we get up into the next matchup of the week, which pits the 2-6 Brewers up against the 6-2 Rays. That's a reciprocal fraction type deal here. Basically, the records are flipped and swapped. Right now, 8-2-4 in that matchup. Tampa Bay leading the way in that charge. And in the final matchup of the week, seeking his first win of the week or of the year, folks, we're looking at the Giants taking on the New York Mets. The 0-7-1 Giants are taking on the Mets with a strong 4-4 record. They've been making it out and coming out on top for the past 3 or 4 weeks, so they're on a good little streak. Right now, that is the closest matchup of the week, too, because it is at a 5-5-4 split. Now we get up into the best part of the show, the league leaders, the trophies, and we do it like this. As far as runs is concerned, the Brewers now solely own that. They're 5 up in the category with 374 runs on the year. Next, we'll move up into the home runs category. The Phillies are still holding down that category with 108 home runs. He's 17 up in that category. So the next dude, 17 home runs behind. Extra base hits, that's also going to go the Phillies' way with 266 extra base hits on the year. He's 20 up in that category. Then you got total bases, that's going to move over to the Rays. The Rays got 1,094 total bases on the year so far. He's 14 up in that category. So I guess it's a pretty comfortable league for a week. But we move on over to the RBI category. We could have a different winner here, folks. The Phillies in real life have been slumping, and right now in the RBI categories, the Phillies do hold that category with 352 total RBIs on the year, but they're only 8 up in that category, so that can switch next week if they have a bad week and somebody has a killer week next week. Stolen bases, the Rays, 80 stolen bases. He holds that category down. He's only 7 up in that category, however. So, you know how that can all go. Average is also going to go to the Rays. He's got a 274 average on the year. He's 3 percentage points up on the next dude in second place. Innings pitched swings to the Rays as well. 702 innings pitched, 115 innings up on the next dude closest coming up at that category. The wins, with 45 wins, he's only 5 up. That also swings the Rays' way. Oh, that rhymes. And then you got the losses, which would also go to the Rays hand in hand when you have so many innings with 37 losses. However, he's 4 down in that category, so he's not that far behind or that far down from somebody catching him and taking over that category and taking it away from him and taking it out of his hands. The ERA category is going to the Cardinals right now with a 3.22 ERA. He's 25 percentage points up right now. Percentage points up from the next dude taking over that spot. And then you get into the whip. That's going to swing over to the Giants with a 1.22 whip, only a 1 or tenth of a percentage point up. Then the save holds, that's going to the Yankees with 49 save holds on the year, only 3 up in that category. And we switch on over to the trophies. Best part of the show, 6 minutes in. Let's finish it. Let's do it. Trophies, the I Get It In trophy. It's going to the Rays. 45 runs last week. Big ups to Mike on that one. Going to the Rays. 15 home runs last week. Touching them up. The Rays with 140 total bases. That's going to the Rays as well. The Ribby also going to the Rays. So right there you got Grand Slam champ right there in the first 4 trophies. With 48 RBIs in last week's matchup, and now we switch it on over to the Cardinals, who's getting the better than your average trophy, hitting a high 297 last week. The We Got a Runner trophy is going to get split between the Rays and the Tigers. They both had 9 stolen bases during last week's matchups. And then the Can't See Me trophy, that goes to the Tigers with 80 strikeouts last week. The Iron Horse goes to him as well for having 103 innings pitched. The top of the mountain is going to get split, however, between the Tigers and the Mets, for both of those teams having 6 wins. To get them out the game trophies going out, the Horse's Ass to the Horse's Ass trophy. I'm not calling the team a Horse's Ass. That will be going out to the Rays for having 7 losses in last week's matchup. The That Spells Relief trophy is going out to the Yankees with 7 save holds in last week's matchups. Throwing up donuts is going to the Cardinals with a 2.12 ERA. And the I Killed It and the This Week's Stinker trophy. Drum roll, folks. In the 12-2 matchup, the I Killed It trophy is going to the Mets. The This Week's Stinker is going to me. The Yankees, I had gotten only 2 categories in last week's matchups. And that is the Fantasy Flex, folks. Moving into next week's show. Hope everybody keeps it moving, keeps it popping. And that's the Fantasy Flex. This is Flex. I'm out. See you guys later. See you guys next week. Stay active. Stay tuned.